Today on the Servant Leadership Podcast, we're joined by Stephen Cloobeck, a dynamic entrepreneur, investor, and leader best known for founding Diamond Resorts and appearing on Undercover Boss. From studying neuroscience and psychology to building one of the largest hospitality brands in the world, Stephen has always looked for ways to solve problems, build strong teams, and lead with both compassion and conviction. Now he's bringing that same mindset to his run for governor of California. In this episode, you'll hear stories about leadership, risk, public service, and what it looks like to create real value in every room you walk into. Stephen, thank you for being on the Servant Leadership Podcast.
Thank you for having me.
I am so excited because with your background, you have proven out to be an amazing servant leader. Talk about Diamond Resorts and what the journey was like to start that.
Wow. I was tasked to build my first hotel at 29. I was in the shopping center business prior to that. Prior to that, I was going to school to be a heart surgeon. So I have a degree in neuropsychology, and I thought I dreamed of being a heart surgeon. And I got tired of going to school. I worked at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, did heart research, and I loved that. It's a passion, but I just could not weather another 16 years of school. So I came back home to Southern California, where I grew up, and I went to Cal State Northridge to learn Accounting 101 and 102 because I did not learn that. And then took business law at UCLA, audited it, and went into the shopping center business to learn, and started my own company at 24. Built centers from Burbank, Bakersfield, throughout Southern California. I was tasked to build this first hotel for my father for the timeshare business at 29. He was not a builder. He was sales and marketing. He was Glenn Ross. Great sales and marketing man. And he gave me a budget, and I designed it. I built it on time, on budget at 29. And then got into the hotel business full circle. My life is full of full circles. I did speech and debate when I was a young man, won 13 gavels at Student Congress, and now I'm in politics and policy too. I became a builder because I learned critical thinking, how to solve problems, and that's so integral in life. Solutions. I learned from some of the greatest mentors. Michael Milken in finance, he gave me my business degree. Harry Reid, the great leader of the U.S. Senate, gave me my political science degree, and became my adopted father. And I met these men when I was actually young, 13, 15 years old. Never knew that, again, full circle, they'd be so prominent in my life. And I learned, most importantly, to listen to others, learn, have mentors, because I'm a product of these great mentors. So today, I'm giving back. I'm paying it forward, actually paying it live, by having a lot of mentees. And service has been a big part of my life. Actually, I was a busboy at 8, a dishwasher, 9, waiter. Again, full circle. I'm serving again. And I love serving. People should serve because it makes you feel good. I do it both philanthropically, but I also roll up my sleeves and deliver results and just helping those that need. But I've learned to be always authentic, directive and authoritative, but with compassion and warmth, because we're missing that compassion and warmth. We need to create value for everybody. And as I've been so privileged to create value for many, many others, I've created value for myself, and I lean into it. I'm proud of what I've done, and I want to share it with others.
It's amazing just your journey and how you really have created so many good leaders under you. They talk about great leaders just leaving a wake of amazing great leaders behind them. How did you instill a service mentality? Obviously, you're in the hospitality industry, but how did you instill that in the leaders around you?
By walking the talk, not being afraid to pick up the broom and sweep. I can do and have done every task within my business, soup to nuts. When it comes to making a bed, I can make a bed. I taught my team I wanted our towels folded. I did a video and sent it out with technology today to everyone. And I would walk around and visit with my team and talk to them and listen to them. Doing Undercover Boss was a great learning experience because I never really understood. My team wouldn't tell me everything, but now I could figure out how to actually ask the right questions. How's your day? How's your family? How are the kids doing? If I thought about how many kids I put through school, not just my own family, which is, I think I put 10 kids through school, my immediate family and relatives, but all the others that I put through school by providing just a great workplace, a team, a culture, where I would take a bullet for any of them and they would for me. I had to sing, as the founding chairman, CEO, when somebody called, because I put my business card at every front desk, with my live cell and live email, my people thought I was out of my mind, but I would respond to each and every guest. And if we did have a complaint, because we're not perfect, I'm not a perfect man, none of us are perfect, and acknowledge that it's okay, but how do you make it better? I was in the business of creating memories for my guests, but my team was equally as important. But if we did fail, I would talk to a guest and I would say, wow, tell me about what happened. And I'd listen and I said, you know what, I apologize. And they go, whoa, it was a housekeeper at X resort or a server at another resort. I said, no, I apologize because I am that housekeeper. I am that server. I'm everyone. I take the incoming shots and I clap for my team in the back of the theater.
Right.
When I let them all get trophies, I have no pride of authorship, because if we deliver results and make people's lives better, we create memories for people and create a great working environment. That's what true leadership is. A Papa Bear with a big heart. And we have to have rules, but we need simplified rules so everyone prospers and does well. We have regulations so we keep bad actors away, but not too many regulations where good business can't do good business. People say common sense, but common sense is uncommon sense. So these are principles that I believe in, and a really true great leader creates rock stars. Because as I was created by other mentors, I hope I create many, many, many rock stars for the future of our country, our planet. And I wish more people would just kind of embrace that.
Yeah. Well, and you've taken this path of inspiring people all around the world, even outside of your companies. You talk about Undercover Boss and being on that. How did that even come about, and what was that experience like?
Wow. We actually created the best shows, but it happened in a very unconventional way where they asked me to consider it. I said, okay. And the first day on the set, I was very uncomfortable because I was exposed and I had no editorial approval. And I said, they're going to kill my brand. They're going to kill the company. And I quit. The first day I quit, and then they fired me. And they said, do it on camera. And I said, no, I'm out of here. And the producers flew in to meet with me that night and walked me off the ledge and said that they could not do this show unless it was aspirational and inspirational and real and unscripted and raw. Play with it, Stephen. It's going to be fine. Because we wouldn't be able to attract these other great companies to come on. And I said, okay. And then we created great content because I leaned in. I was very uncomfortable because it's my baby. And I didn't want to expose my baby to things that I couldn't control. But I let loose. And we created the best shows they ever created. And it was totally unscripted. The most generous undercover boss ever in the history of the show. Great ratings, but I learned so much. It made me a better leader.
Yeah. I mean, it was for sure the most memorable episode. Thinking about your path through Diamond Resorts, most people, when they sell a business, would just be living off on the beach and not do anything after. You've taken a totally different approach. You've leaned into some really hard stuff since selling. Well, why did that happen?
Well, it's interesting. Somebody asked me a similar question, and they said, Stephen, you must like that red cape in a bull ring because you seem to charge after it. If somebody tells me you can't do it or it can't be done, I kind of lean into it. I like Legos, as you've seen. I like building things. I like creating value. I like doing the most complicated, the most impossible. When I bought Sunterra, it was a 20-year-old troubled company. Nobody could fix it. I had to rep and warrant the financials of the company I bought. That's a little crazy. I do not suggest that for others. But I did it, and we succeeded. We bought 10 more companies and fixed them. We solved the sins of the father, many problems that others couldn't fix, but we made it right by the customer all the time. I didn't garner any profit, but yet we made everyone happy. And it wasn't for everybody. Maybe it was not right for them. And we said, maybe this is not right for you. But if we or others in the past made a mistake, I solved it. And along the way, people have tried to extort me. Oh, no one extorts me. I fight extortion. And with me in charge, you'll be protected from extortion because I live by laws. I don't like when others get taken advantage of, and I protect them. And I live on principle. I live up integrity. We don't lie. We tell the hard truths. As a matter of fact, I have a book that's called Facing Hard Truths Out. And I wrote a previous book called Checking In. It's on hospitality because everyone's in hospitality. So I did not envision, I've been appointed to political office. I created the tourism department of the United States, Brand USA. It outsized its returns. It was supposed to be 5-1. It's multiples of that. President Obama was like cheerful, but as I was creating it, they were nervous because I'm like a bull in the china shop and they weren't used to somebody signing the front of a check and just making decisions. I would make decisions and apologize later.
Right.
That seems to be a mantra. But always lead with my heart, always with integrity. Renamed an airport in Las Vegas. They tried 7 years. Got it done in 3 months. In honor of my adopted father, Harry Reid. Very proud. So I've done a lot of unthinkable things. And as I came to my home state, my dream, I dreamed of living in Beverly Hills. I lean into it. I'm not ashamed. I'm proud of what I've done. Because I grew up in the San Fernando Valley over the hill. Of nice means. Went to good schools, public and private schools. And I wanted to live my dream. I was dreamed of living over the hill and designing a house in Beverly Hills. I could live anywhere in the world as I sold my company, and I traveled the world. I operated in 35 countries, 16 languages, 6 currencies, multiple legal frameworks. And I wasn't worried about the tax situation. I was worried about where's the best place to live. Well, the best state's California. It's the best state in the United States. It's not a state, it's a country. We're now the 4th largest GDP in the world.
Yeah.
And it's been on defense. I grew up when it was on offense, the bully pulpit of the United States. As California did, the rest of the nation led. And I interviewed, because I've been involved in politics and policy for almost 4 decades. I interviewed every single candidate that was running for governor, and I met 300 people throughout the state to get to understand where is the state of the state of the country. And I looked at the gubernatorial candidates and I said, is this the best we got? You're kidding me, right? Not one person has solutions. Not one person has signed the front of a check. Not one person has fixed broken. They're just looking for a title and a paycheck. I don't need either. I want everyone to do well. So I'm coming at this very differently. And I said, well, to my friends, maybe I should think about getting involved and use the experience I have to fix what's broken. And they said, are you out of your mind? I said, well, I'm a little bit out of my mind because everything I've done has been a good trouble or a good crazy, difficult. What do you need this for, Stephen? You've done all these great things. Well, I played enough golf. Boring. To all those golfers, sorry. I love pickleball. I've traveled the world. I love my state, and I can actually add value. So I asked my children uniquely, should my daddy do this? And I got 3 different answers, all yes, but very different. One actually said, I have 13 questions. It's my lawyer to be. And I answered every question. And he said, what do you expect of me? I said, show up when I announce. He said, well, can I help you with policy and help write? I go, yes, of course. So I wanted to make sure I had good infrastructure and buy-in. And what is my legacy going to be? Here to serve. I'm here to take care of all the customers of California, not voters. They're all customers because they should receive equal or greater value. They deserve this. They need to hear this and deserve to hear the hard truths. And that's why I wrote the book, too, a year ago. It's now published. It's coming out for print. It comes out in June 2025. Facing Hard Truths. Amazon, Barnes & Noble, plug. And
love it.
I just love what I'm doing. I've never had a better time in my life. Yeah. I love serving.
It's such a unique stance because you hear all these people, and I agree, most people run because of power and position and title. Hearing what you're running for and hearing what you're trying to do in California, why has it not been done before?
Because these folks are careerists. They're looking for a title jump, their hierarchy. They think they deserve it. They go to a buffet table and pick things. I didn't intend to do this. It's not on my bucket list. I'm here because we're all placed on this earth to add value, and I'm here to serve. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I've studied. I've done due diligence. I've done my homework. These folks have not done their due diligence. Mm-hmm. They just want the title. I don't want a title. I have no aspirations beyond this other than serving the people, the customers of California. And there's a craving for this. I'm not embarrassed for what I've achieved, and I want to treat people with compassion and warmth. And the people deserve this, actually. They've been abused to failed leaders. Mm. We just saw the California fires, Southern California, failed leadership. Mm-hmm. We saw $2 billion of accounting fraud for the homelessness in Los Angeles. And at the state level, $20 billion. And then you go to workman's comp, EDD fraud, $30 billion. Where's the money? Mm-hmm. I listened to the people of California, from the head of the farm workers to the CEO of Chevron, the same thing. Leadership did not talk to its best customers. Why do you think so many people have left? Mm. Government has failed its customer. Now's the time for us to change. We've had enough.
With so many people, they talk a good talk, and you've been a person of significant action throughout your career. And when you talk, the hope feels real, like it actually feels hopeful.
I live in integrity. I will never promise something I can't deliver, equal, or better. Mm. I'm in the customer business. We're all in the customer business, but it's forgotten. And these leaders, proven, have failed us. They've failed us. We wouldn't be in this position if they did a good job.
Yeah.
Okay? We wouldn't be having this discussion. I wouldn't even consider this if they gave us a successful result. They haven't. So, simple solutions for a better life. And it's going to be done a different way. Mm. Because those that have caused this are not going to be those that fix it. They're incapable. Otherwise, they would have done it. Mm-hmm. Correct?
For sure.
So here we are today. I'm having fun. I'm shaking hands, listening. And there are problems that are solvable. I was taught this by my mentors. You can always solve a problem, but you got to figure out what it is first. Mm. Acknowledge it. Come up with simple solutions. And execute and show results. And if you do that, what a beautiful world it would be. So most people in my seat don't want to do this because they're afraid of the media and the incoming missiles. I'm like, bring it on. Everything about me is all over the place. I'm an open book. I'm not scripted. I don't need to be, because I am Stephen J. Cloobeck. I am who I am. And I'm still learning. I'm on a journey. A lot more to learn, but a lot to give. Okay?
When I think through what you've done with building great teams and building just amazing hospitality environments, what do you get excited about moving into government where that just hasn't potentially been the case?
It hasn't been the case because I haven't touched it yet.
Right.
But I did it at Brand USA at the federal level.
Right.
I worked with Homeland Security, Customs and Borders, Senate, the House, Treasury Department, State Department, Interior Department, Commerce Department, and reported to the Oval Office. And I sat down with Customs and Borders and I said to the head officers, can you do me a favor? We're going to spend a lot of money promoting the United States. Can we be a little Disneyland-esque and say, welcome to the United States with a smile? Because you already know who the bad boys and girls are. And we're going to ship them back on the airplane they came in on because the airline's got to pay for it, little known fact. And when people leave, and they leave the great United States, can we say, thank you for coming, come back soon with a smile? Pretty simple. And you know what? They agreed. And we changed the way we greeted people, and people left the United States. They're spending money here. It didn't cost us anything. Tourism and travel is an export. Okay, it's counterintuitive. It's 23% of our GDP, our revenue stream of the United States. And people from Europe spent so much money. People from China spent 4 times as much. And other Asian countries. Come on, welcome them with a smile. Show them our great land and our great hospitality.
It's so interesting. Just, I love your perspective. When people look at you from the outside, though, a lot of people think, boy, everything he touches turns to gold, and it's just been an easy ride. And behind the scenes, we know it hasn't been an easy ride. There's been some really tough challenges you've been through. Talk about some of the challenges and how you've overcome them.
Well, look, when you eat sausage, it tastes great. But if you watch it being made, you'll never eat sausage. Of course, there's challenges, but I learned to lean into getting smacked in the face because that's a learning experience. You just make sure you don't. You're driving down the freeway and you may hit the guardrail a little bit. Just don't go over the guardrail because you may end up not making it back. So, look, I've had so many experiences in my life that were unintended consequences, which people don't talk about or think about because they haven't had experience. And that's what I bring to the table and the other candidates don't. They don't think of unintended consequences, the 20 spinning plates, and making sure they're all spinning at the same time. But each time I've had an unintended consequence, I've weathered the storm. And boy, it's tough. Boy, it's tough. You get banged up, beaten up, smacked around. I actually like it. I told you I'm a little cuckoo. Good cuckoo. But I lean into it because I know it's going to be a growth experience. I'm going to learn something new. We're going to figure it out. It's a puzzle. But if you lead with compassion and warmth, and you always have integrity, you're going to do the right thing. And it's okay to ask for help because you can't do it alone. We need to do it together. It's not I, me. I'm the opposite. It's we. We need to do this together. We cause these problems. Don't point fingers. Don't point fingers. Don't yell at me. Don't point fingers. If you yell at me, I'm just going to say I can't hear you. How can we do it together for a better life? We got to figure it out, right? We have to respect each other. We need to be responsible to one another. We need to show results. We need to execute. We need to have accountability, and we need to enforce laws, simple laws. We need to agree. We don't steal. 8th commandment. Simple truths we need to hear, and we all deserve to hear. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if anyone thinks it's just I touch things, it turns to gold, that is not true. I make mistakes. I pivot, but I pivot. I raise my hand if I make a mistake because nobody is perfect.
One of the things I've learned from following you over the years, not in these exact words, but these 3 steps of no excuses, take personal responsibility, and then lean in and fix it yourself. You've demonstrated that over and over with your book. Talk about the book. I know you mentioned it briefly, but talk about the book and what it was like going through that writing process and what you hope people get from it.
First of all, I dictated it because I cannot write. A little known fact, I'm very dyslexic. I have things read to me. I actually listened to the audio of it and took notes. My scribble is like a doctor's chicken scratch. But these are lessons learned. best practices, and we grow on the shoulders of others. So I've learned all these beautiful things from, I don't play identity politics. I'm a Democrat because I'm loyal, but I'm a conservative Democrat. When I say conservative, I'm a populist. I'm for the people, but I'm balance sheet income statement. I'm law and order, but I'm compassionate with a warm heart. I don't know what you call it. I call it being a good human. Mm-hmm. Forget about this D and R crap, but you got to do it. Mm-hmm. I speak to an audience. They don't know what I am. Some people think I'm a Republican. Some people think I'm a Democrat. Some people think I'm a Democrat. Some people think I'm a Republican. Does it really matter? As long as you have respect, responsibility to deliver results. So as I wrote this book, this is just a compilation of all these great leaders that I've learned from in this unique period of time where we've got this vitrolic language, hard right, hard left, and I'm trying to run through the hard center. Because there's no language, and I'm not apologetic for it. There's no bravado for it. I'm that bravado. I'm out of the wilderness, and I'm here to lead and serve. Because now's the time to shine. I can go do whatever I want, but then what am I leaving behind? Why would I waste this experience and talent? And I'm unemployable. I need a job. So, yeah, I said it's kind of truthful. But why not create more rock stars? Create these great leaders, educate, collaborate, teach, coach, counsel, collaborate, and teach the unintended consequences, make people think in a very thoughtful way. You can have all the credit. I want no pride of authorship. I just want to sit in the back of the theater and clap for the team getting trophies, whether it be financial, if that's what they desire, leadership, education, science, medicine, whatever it may be, make the world a better place. Okay? Walk together.
We hear often this concept on our podcast of people thinking they're not leaders. And over time, we're trying to show people that no matter where you are, you have influence and you have great leadership capabilities. Well, when you go and work with people, and I know you're working with people at the C-suite level, but you also are working with some of the poorest of the poor and some of the community work you do. What do you tell people in terms of helping them feel the confidence to be great servant leaders?
Good question. I don't just work with people at the C-suite level.
Yeah.
I'm in the weeds.
Yep.
No, I'm washing the floor and sweeping the floor. I have taken care of 42 homeless families in Los Angeles for the last 5 years. And I go visit with the men and women who are there that have graduated. They come from the street, drug, alcohol addictions, and we sit and talk. And I got a really interesting comment back from one. After the second year I was speaking, I speak a couple times a year to the people. And he said, Mr. Cloobeck, and I said, Stephen, Mr. Cloobeck was my dad. He goes, Stephen, you're not going to believe it. I enrolled in hospitality school. I said, oh my God. Okay. He is one of many that I have talked to that have listened to our collaboration, that pulled up his pants, put his shirt on, and got it together. And that's success. It can be done. So I'm doing this each and every day. To me, running for governor of California is the greatest hospitality job in the world. There's 39 million customers of California. I get to shake hands and talk to everyone, hopefully, and listen and create memories for them and a better life. It's just going to be done a different way. So there is a pathway. There's a desire. I'm motivated. I'm having more fun than I've ever had. And it wakes me up every morning. I can barely sleep because it's so much fun. It's so much fun. And I know what to do. I don't need training wheels. I can drive the car day one. The other candidates can't.
Yeah.
They don't have the experience because they haven't signed the front of the check. They just want the title and the paycheck.
Yeah. Where do you think you learned this concept of listening? Because your listening is not just hearing. Your listening is listening for the sake of being able to do something about it. Where did that come from?
Good question. I learned the concept of staying present. Okay? I'm not listening past you. I'm listening to you. I'm absorbing your journey. I don't know what it's like to grow up the way you did unless I ask you and you tell me. You can't assume how I grew up unless I have a nice conversation with you. You got to get to know each other. How'd you grow up? You learn. Because what you did in your journey is different than my journey. And it's interesting to me. To me, that's just being in the hospitality business and kind of learning from one another and growing with each other for a better future, right? I don't know. I like it. I think it's pretty good. We should all embrace it.
All right. I want to hit you with 10 rapid fire questions where you just say the first thing that comes to your mind. And there's
better be careful.
There's no right or wrong answer.
Well, that's good. There is no right or wrong answer in life.
Who's the first person you think of when I say servant leadership?
My dear pastors or rabbis.
5 words that most describe you.
Respect, responsibility, results, integrity, compassion, and warmth.
Favorite author or book?
I don't read. I mean, you want to ask like a TV show or something?
All right, favorite movie. Go favorite movie.
The Godfather.
Oh, that's a good one. All right, favorite food.
Steak.
Love it. Favorite thing to do in your free time.
Workout.
All right. What's a surprising fact about you?
That I understand 95% Spanish and I speak a little bit of Russian and can read it.
Wow, that is surprising. That's all right. Favorite place you've been?
I've traveled the world. My favorite place is California.
Love it. Where's somewhere you want to go that you haven't been?
That's a tough question because I've been fortunate to travel the world, and I can actually say I've been everywhere that I wanted to go because I was in the hotel travel and tourism business. I've really ventured the world.
Well, all right. What's the best advice you've ever received?
Staying present.
Wow. Well, when you think through why a podcast on servant leadership could be important, why do you think that could be important for people?
Service is the most important quality one really needs to embrace. I think everyone should do service one time in their life or many times because, number one, it teaches you about people. It teaches you about sales, marketing, human nature. It brings the best out of you. And you know what? When you do serve, you feel good at the end of the day. How can you beat that?
Yeah. Wow. Well, Stephen, I just want to say thank you for inviting us into your home and for sharing with our audience so much wisdom. I know they're going to be really blessed by hearing from you and your story.
Everyone should have a blessed day.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Servant Leadership Podcast. If you enjoyed what you heard, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to never miss an update. Be sure to check out the servantleadershippodcast.org for more updates and additional bonus content.